My pretty people of Ghana, it's a Nigerian dear pleasure bringing you political news in our channel, Ghanatube. First of all, Happy New Year to every one of you, and I really wish you the best of this year. Here are the news we have for you. Please switch.
Because even before asking, you have made a case demonstrating your readiness and preparedness to confront the problems of Ghana with greater expertise and finesse than we have seen in the past. So I have a few questions focusing on what my brother and former majority leader and now minority leader raised in his thesis that he read before we started. Oh, very beautiful thesis.
Honourable member, continue. Proceed.
Number one, will you abolish the E-levy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my position on the E-levy is well known. I do not intend to run from it. I've written articles against the E-levy. I championed opposition against the E-levy. I still stand by them. Mr. Chairman, the E-levy is neither a direct tax, indirect tax, or an excise tax. I don't know how to classify the E-levy as a tax practitioner. Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mean that I do not recognize that the E-levy brings in certain revenue. But the fact remains that the E-levy retards our progress towards a cash-light economy and the fintech. We need to abolish the E-levy. I have said, and I'm on record to have said, that given the opportunity to abolish the E-levy, I want to restate that position, that if approved as part of the first budget, I'll be privileged and I will announce the E-levy as part of our first budget, recognizing my earlier stance and the commitment that His Excellency the President Mahama said that as part of our 120 days agenda, we will abolish the E-levy. We stand by that, and I can assure you the E-levy will go within the 120 days calendar that we've announced. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Mahama Ayarga. The minority leader and the ranking member wants to do a follow-up on the question relating to abolishing E-levy.
Thank you, Chairman. Chair, my respected colleague and leader tells us that he's aware that abolishing the E-levy would amount to government losing revenue. How does he make up for the loss in revenue?
Thank you very much. Your answer to the question, please.
Mr. Chairman, it shouldn't always be revenue. But why are we not paying attention to expenditure? I think you have a choice of both. Remove the E-levy and replace it. Or remove the E-levy, don't replace it, and cut corresponding expenditure. The option is on the table. As minister, assess it appropriately. But my committee consider the holistic going and look at its impact and assess it appropriately. But my commitment will not change. The E-levy has to go, and it will go immediately.
Thank you very much. He intimated he has a further supplementary question.
Chair, my respected colleague and leader has introduced an important point, and I find a very intelligent one. He says that it's always about revenue, but expenditure. We are aware of several expenditure lines. These are largely social intervention programs. Is he saying that he's going to do away with some of the social intervention programs to enable him succeed? Or has he been able to identify a particular expenditure line to be able to deal with? Because to say you are going to abolish it on good authority and you are not going to look for another source of revenue to replace it, but you're going to cut on expenditure, it so suggests that you've identified one. Have you been able to identify one?
Mr. Chairman, the quality of expenditure matters. I have said here, and I'm on record to have said that as part of our short-term measures, we will indeed implement a careful but a strong expenditure-based front-loaded fiscal consolidation agenda without hurting growth and the vulnerable. The vulnerable obviously means protecting social protection. Mr. Chairman, I'm a social democrat. My party, the NDC, is a social democratic party. We stand by our ideals. We will not be the ones to hurt the vulnerable. We will protect the vulnerable in our society. Our expenditure cut will be careful, will be done in a way where the vulnerable will be protected. And I've said the quality of expenditure matters. It matters in the sense that expenditure must drive inclusive growth. And so if the expenditure is wasteful and it's not properly targeted and it's not achieving the desired outcome, then we have to relook at it. So we'll be guided. Remember, aside my professional expertise, I'm also a politician. I have won a mandate, and my constituency is a rural constituency. I understand the people of Ghana. I understand the needs of the vulnerable. I understand the dynamics of the political economy. I have monitored Ghana's economy for close to 20 years, 2 decades. We'll introduce it in such a way that it will drive inclusive growth and help all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The ranking member is really enjoying the answers to the question. We will now move on with Honorable Mahama.
Honorable Atafosan, you have been talking about cutting down on expenditure. You've repeated that several times this morning. Is the reduction in the number of ministers and the reduction in the number of existing ministries, is that part of the measures being taken at the highest levels to cut down on expenditure?
Mr. Chairman, the size of government matter. It feeds into the expenditure framework. Reducing government ministries from 30 to 23 gives you a savings of 7. 7 bureaucratic agencies. 7 bureaucratic agencies comes with its own cost. Therefore, it is part of the envelope. So straight away you can see the envelope. Today, the Ministry of Finance will have to populate the budget as approved by Parliament for expenditure in advance of appropriations. It has, as part of it, 30 ministries. Immediately they have to realign to 23. So straight away, you have cost centers of 27 that you have to eliminate. Some are fixed, but they are variable costs that you immediately cut. And so you can understand that as part of the government's policy to cut down expenditure, we have already begun. And I'm sure in the next budget, you will be very impressed with us what some of the things we'll do. I don't want to preempt it. I'm a minister yet. I will count on you to approve me very fast so that I can start the work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your last question.
My last question is, do you have any doubts about any of our commitments to to abolish any of the taxes? Are we reneging? Is there any conversation in the circles of government? Is there any doubt in our mind about any of the taxes that we said we will abolish?
Mr. Chairman, certainly no. Certainly no.
Thank you very much. I will take a question from Honorable Ambikiako.
Thank you, Chairman, and congratulations to Honorable Dr. Ato Forsen. But I am impressed with your responses so far, a clear indication that you are ready to help reset Ghana. But I have a quick question. The previous government, in the process of introducing E-levy, abolished road tolls. As you have committed to remove E-levy, would you consider to bring back road toll collections? And what is your take on property rate collections as well? Because they attempted to centralize it and they reversed it with the previous government attempted centralization of property rate collections, and they reversed it with the explanation that there were some challenges. What is your take on road toll and property rate?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, the previous government indeed removed the road toll. But getting to the end, they signaled that the road toll is coming back. Mr. Chairman, they submitted to Parliament, it was not late, a concession agreement with the company to reintroduce the road tolls. I have a copy. Mr. Chairman, the NDC indicated from day one that the road toll will come back.